Today, I want to share several reasons why people procrastinate. People put off a work, lack of being competent. You don't have the skill or the knowledge or the know-how to do certain things, especially to complete a project. That is why people at times put off something because they don't feel like they have the skill, the knowledge, the know-how to go about it. People put off a work because they feel like they don't have confidence. Confidence is very key to do anything. If you don't feel like you are confident to do certain things, you will not give your all in all. You won't even start the job because you don't feel like you're good enough. You don't feel like you have what it takes. Competence is the foundation for confidence. Like I said earlier on, that some people put off a work because they don't feel like they have the competences, and as a result of that, they don't even embark upon it. Then people put off a work because they don't have confidence at all. In order for you to have confidence, you need to be competent at whatever it is that you want to do. Because confidence springs from competence. If you're a master at something, you will have the confidence of being able to do it. But if you're not an expert or a master at something, you won't have the confidence of starting or finishing whatever it is that you want to do. That is why sometimes people put off something. Number one, they don't have the competence at all. Number two, they don't feel confident enough to do it because the competences are not there. Confidence and competence go hand in hand. You need to be competent in order for you to be confident. So if you're not competent, you cannot be confident. So competence equals confidence. Another reason why people put off a work is because lack of courage. You see, courage is not the absence of fear. Courage is you still acting in the presence of fear, in the presence of obstacles, in the presence of oppositions, in the presence of challenges, in the presence of threats, in the presence of your weakness. That is when you need to exercise courage. People put off something because they don't have the courage, and courage is needed for you to start anything. For example, you have a business idea and you have been putting it off to start. I can't even speak of running your business. Just the starting, that's where many people struggle. You have a bright idea, an idea that is marketable, an idea that can be profitable, an idea that people can buy, an idea that has the capacity to create a product or offer a service. But you put it off. You put it off because, number one, you don't have the competence. Number two, you don't have confidence. Number three, you lack courage. Courage, because they lack courage, meaning that they are afraid to start. They are afraid of failing. They are afraid of making mistakes. If you want to transition to a second career, first of all, you have to go back to school or obtain some upgrading so that you can develop the competences that are needed in that chosen career. And then that will develop confidence in you. And then the courage will come. Competence plus confidence equal courage. In order for you to tackle with courage a complex problem, you have to have competence and confidence along with you. If you want to start something from scratch, you need courage to do that, because most times we as human beings, we have the tendencies to be afraid of the unknown. And courage is not the absence of fear. In the midst of your weakness, in the midst of opposition, You will exercise courage because you have the competences, and as a result of having the skills and the abilities to do certain things, confidence will spring forth. But if you don't have the competence in the first place, if you don't have the know-how, how are you going to have the confidence to say that you can do it? And then when you have confidence, courage will also come in place. So people put off something because of lack of courage. They are afraid to start. They're afraid that they're going to fail. They're afraid that they're not going to make any sales. They're afraid that they're not going to get a new job. They're afraid that they're going to be fired. It's as a result of your lack of courage. People put off a work because it's not comprehensible. What do I mean by that? They don't understand it. They don't understand what they have been assigned to do. They don't understand the project that they have to do. Understanding brings forth clarity. If you understand the scope of the business that you want to start, you need to do market research. You need to do research on your clientele. If you want to start a new career path, you need to do your research in the workplace, in the marketplace, the industry that you want to find a job in. And you don't have clarity, you don't have understanding of what you want to do, of the work that you are assigned to do, or the work that you want to do, you will procrastinate. Another reason why people procrastinate is because they don't have comprehension in whatever they want to do. It's another important reason why people procrastinate. And some of you can attest to this. The work is complex. The work is complex. And when people see a complex work, their first reaction is to say, you know what, I cannot do it all by myself. I cannot do it because it's too big. I cannot do it because I don't know how to do it. I cannot do it because it's too hard. It's too complex. That is why you have to break down the workload. That's how I usually tackle complex work or complex projects. I break them down into smaller chunks that I can manage. There's something called asking for help. Ask for help. Get your team to work with you. People who are good at certain things that you are not good at. Ask them to get involved to help you with that complex project. That's going to reduce the tendency to procrastinate, to put off because the work is complex. To tackle complex projects, my advice that has worked for me is break it down into small deliverables. And then after that, certain things that you cannot do, ask for help. Work in a team environment. Many hands can make the work easier to do. But if you want to do it all by yourself, it will be too much on you. And you feel like it's a burden. And you will not have the courage, you will not have the confidence to start and the courage to keep going because the work is complex. And as a result of you facing a complex work, you will procrastinate. Another reason why people procrastinate is because the work is incomplete. If you have been assigned a work and you don't have all the details, you don't have the scope of the project, the timeline of the project, the deliverable stated, you don't have all that stuff, your work is incomplete. Nobody likes to start on an incomplete work. As a result of that, you put it off, you procrastinate. When a work is incomplete, you put it off. Because human beings, we have this tendency that we want to start when we have everything in the right place, when we have all the right resources, when we have all the right information, when there's a detailed explanation of what needs to be done, or when we have done a detailed research into starting our business. That's when people will start your business. But when the work is incomplete, people will put it off. Finally, this is very important. The last reason why, according to my take on why people procrastinate, is people put off a work because they feel like there's lack of collaboration, no support. When you feel like you don't have, your boss is not helping you out, your coworkers are not helping you out, you will put off a work because you don't know, you want to hear the input from your boss, you want to get some resources from your boss, you want to hear the input from your boss, you want to get some research material from your coworker. But when there's lack of collaboration to accomplish a project, you will put it off. You will procrastinate because there's no support. Nobody wants to engage in something where they're not getting any help. We all want to be helped. So when there's no support, when there's no collaboration, people will put off a work. So these are all the list of reasons why people procrastinate based on the following C's, and I'm going to summarize them. People put off a work based on lack of competence, lack of confidence, lack of courage, lack of comprehension, the complexity of the work, incompleteness, and also lack of collaboration. These are all reasons why people procrastinate.